Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm actually going to be talking about the war of the consoles, or just the war of everything between PC gaming, PS4 gaming, PS5 gaming, Xbox One, Xbox One X, Xbox Series X. Thanks Microsoft for making it so complicated. The Switch as well, that one's actually pretty fun to do. It's actually like a really fun console as well, which actually interprets all of them in one. But basically I'll just be talking about all the main consoles and why you should probably get one more than another, or get one if you like that console or your friends have got it or something like that. I'll just talk about it at the moment. This is sort of like 2021, as in the year 2020, in the year 2021. Basically, I'll start off with PS4, because that console is pretty good. As you know at the moment, there's Last of Us 2 that came out a couple of days ago, or well, actually a few days ago now, like a few weeks ago I would say. That game's amazing, and that is actually a PS4 exclusive on the console itself, and only on that console. Last of Us, the original, was on the PS3, which I've actually got over there, down below. Which you can't see, but maybe in the future I might make it so you can, on like a little shelf or something. It depends. But yeah. I really recommend PS4 if your friends have got it and you've got sort of some money to spend on some games. I do recommend some PS4 exclusive games. God of War, Last of Us, that sort of reign of games. Until Dawn is a very good horror story narrative game. That one's actually pretty fun to do. That's got the butterfly effect in it. But if you want to know more, I can talk about that game later on a different video or something like that. Or you can look up someone else's review on it. It's fairly good, but a fairly old game. PS4, like its ratings on it, in Japan, it's really highly rated. Because one, Sony in Japan is like a #1 company, so that will be obviously more higher in Japan. Along with Nintendo, Switch is actually more bigger than PS4 in Japan as well. But yes, I'll move on to Switch as well at this point. Switch as a console is really useful, especially the 2017 version wasn't as good. I didn't like the battery life on it, but now 2019 version been released along with Mr. Pikachu the Shop. That's actually released and the battery is really good on that. So if you were looking into a different console, I recommend the Switch, because it will actually give you more games in the future. Like, it will actually have a lot more games on it. Like Apex Legends, that one's going to come on it soon as well. And probably Overwatch 2, which I'm pretty hyped for. I haven't played Overwatch the original. I'm tier 2 main. On the Switch, you have different types of things which you can connect up to it, put it to the TV, Switch Lite if you want to be on the run all the time. Like, let's say you're like just a random guy or gal traveling the world, just get a Switch Lite, because you're not going to use it on TV or anything. Just use it on airplanes and stuff like that. It'd be really cool. But yeah, there's a bunch of games on that console. I don't really need to talk about them because my channel is mainly Switch stuff, because it's so good. I really recommend you look at some other videos if you want to have a look at more Switch stuff in general. And then sort of to the bit after that, Xbox. There's a bit of controversy around this. Basically, Xbox, the original Xbox One S, or well, the Xbox original, the big hefty console, which was fairly expensive at launch. Then they brought out the Xbox One S, which is the white console, which has a bunch of storage and different options in. I had that one, but I sold it on later. That's got really good compatibility between PC, if you want that. Same with Nvidia Shield, which is a sort of thing which connects to the PC as well, and you can play games on the TV with it. But that's an entirely different topic. That's not really a gaming console, it's more like an Android TV thing, with a game capability in it. And that's got an Integra 1 or 2 in it, same as the Switch, but I mean, skip past that. Yeah, the Xbox itself doesn't actually have any exclusives on it, including Halo. Halo is not actually exclusive to that. In the console realm it is. In PC? No, I can get it on PC if I really wanted to. There's no point of having an Xbox One. Sorry, Microsoft. But there really isn't. You don't really need one. Unless, well, saying that, it is cheaper in the long run if you just buy an Xbox One, if you can't afford a gaming PC or just a decent-ish PC. But I do rather recommend a gaming PC if you saved up more money, because one, your friends might have more stuff, and it's actually got compatibility with Minecraft and a bunch of other games, Fortnite if you're into that. So now Fortnite's got compatibility with everything, as well as Minecraft. And a bunch of other games. Overwatch, I think, has got some compatibility between stuff. But yeah, that one's really, really... I guess if you already got one, it makes sense. Especially you can record via your computer. You can literally record the gameplay on it. So if you wanted to just have a controller, you could do that. But I mean, the controller just connects up to the PC anyway, so I mean... It doesn't make much sense. And also, Xbox Series X, the one which they just released that looks like an Alexa. Oh god, hopefully mine doesn't set off. It's basically like a tower. I'll show you some clips of it anyway. On the top it's got some RGB stuff. It's fairly good between, like, gaming sessions. It looks fine. It hasn't been released yet, like, you can't actually use it, but it will be coming out. Another thing which they struck themselves in the back, for the first 2 years there's no games which are actually going to be released for it. So, yeah, you don't need to buy one. Unless you want the epic gaming experience from it. Like, let's say you came from a Xbox 360 and went to an Xbox Series X. Then it makes sense. But if you already got an Xbox One, like any of them, maybe the S or the X, not the Series X, just the X, it gets confusing. But yeah, if you came from any of those, there's no point in upgrading, like, at all. Even if you got the original Xbox, it still doesn't make much sense. I would recommend you just save up for a gaming PC, sell the Xbox, and just... I mean, you could, it makes sense to me. But yeah, another thing, PS4 will be going down in price in places like CEX and Game and GameStop if you're from America. Those sort of, like, PS4 will drop down in price slowly, but it will drop down in price because of the PS5 releasing, same with the Xbox. Actually, the Xbox might actually stay the same, because not many people are actually going to sell it to get the Series X. This is my prediction, I'm not going to tell you, I'm just guessing at this point, but that's my prediction. It's not going to go down in price, the Xbox, but the PS4 will, because the PS5 is going to be a lot more bigger step. Another thing talking about the PS5, the brand new Unreal Engine. Now this can be complicated if you don't know about game engines and game assets and, like, ambient occlusion and retopology and stuff like that. If you don't know those topics, it's fine, I'll sort of explain it as I go along. But basically, before in game engines like Unreal Engine, you need a certain mesh. When you have a character, it has certain meshes, like it has quads or triangles depending on the game engine and what it needs to triangulate and base between meshes and game engine, but that's more confusing. You are usually limited on how detailed you can have a character, so it can actually move, and you need more gaming power the more higher mesh you have. So, what Unreal did is just get rid of that aspect entirely, which is amazing. This might only be for just static meshes, which basically means you can't move the character, but we don't know yet. It's literally going to be released in like 2025. I know it's far into the future, but it's around about that time, I'm fairly sure. Which is a shame, but I mean, it's fine. It makes sense to me at least. Yeah, basically the meshes on that, you can have unlimited meshes, and it has a dynamic explosion like stuff in it. Like you can actually explode stuff, and it's got better meshes, and it can run faster, stuff like that. It's a lot more better in general. Like you can actually make everything work more fluently, and especially on the PS5 it'll look amazing. I think that's running a Radeon graphics card, so AMD stuff, which is actually better in this aspect, because gaming, they'll probably do it so it's got more cores to make it more run faster, and I think it's got like really good RAM, and the SSD is amazing. It's really, really fast. You don't have the issue of running into load times with, like, okay, let me base a game like Fallout 4. That game used to take ages to load, especially if you have mods. PS4 didn't have that many mods, but yeah, that will change a lot in games. Also, Stuff like Star Wars, the Disney movies, not the old ones, but the Disney movies, they use Unreal as a film engine, so they use it as their FX, Cinebench, stuff like that. They use it for rendering, basically. Game characters, C-3PO, if they use him in that, I don't remember that, but I mean, they might use him. A little bull droid, I love that one. Yeah, they use those. If you've made assets with which, in game engines, basically they'll be so good, but they won't be as good as movie engines. This is going to be so confusing if you don't actually understand this. Basically, they'll have more meshes in movie engines rather than game, because they need to actually make the frame rate actually work. Otherwise, if it's like 1 FPS, no one will play the game. But basically, in the future, Unreal Engine, you can literally just take the movie clips and assets and stuff like that, like ships and characters and stuff like that, and literally just chuck it into a game engine. So it costs less for the company, let's say Disney, to make a game than it would have done in the past, because you have to remake every single asset that you made for the movie, or maybe sort of change the assets tiny bit, but it will still take longer if they did it like that. But yeah, most of the game time now, like it won't take 1 or 2 years, it'll take like 1 or 1.5, depending on the game. It will be a lot less times. I don't know, I don't make games, but I mean, I know a fair amount of it, because I've sort of dabbled with all the game stuff, making games, assets, made my own assets, etc, etc. Yeah, hopefully this is actually insightful, because I wanted to make it so that people sort of know. And also, if you were gonna choose a console out of all of them, and also I left PC for last for a reason, because it's not really part of the console wars. But yeah, it depends what your friends have. If they have Xbox, go get a PC. If they've got PS4, get a PS4, because that is exclusive. It's actually got exclusive games on it, and if you haven't played it, I recommend it. And if you don't have a Switch, there's a fair amount of exclusive games on the Switch, especially the brand new Paper Mario: The Origami King. Not Paper Mario and the Origami King. Yes, I saw your tweet, Nintendo. Don't worry about it. But basically, yeah, you want to sort of make it make sense behind the purchase. Like, it actually will last amount of time. Yeah, because the first 2 years of the Xbox coming out, it won't have any exclusive games. I've touched on the point in this video as well about that, but I'm just reiterating about that one. But yeah, hopefully this is actually insightful. Do leave a like or a dislike, depending if you actually liked or disliked the video. Hopefully you like this sort of this information type of a video rather than gameplay. I'll sort of mix between them. Might do some Reddit stuff as well soon, like making some fun Reddit stuff. And don't worry, I'll make my face cam a bit bigger so you can see my face, hopefully. But yeah, hopefully everyone actually enjoyed this. And also, PC, it just depends how much money you want to spend. If you buy an RTX graphics card, ray tracing graphics card, mine isn't. Mine's a GTX 1080 Ti, which is basically the same as a 2080 Ti now, or a 2080 Titanium Edition. So it's about the same, really, apart from the RTX part, and it's got more RAM, well, virtual RAM in the other one. But anyway, it just depends how much money you want to spend on a gaming machine. If it's just as a hobby and you don't really play that many games, I don't recommend it. But if you're doing video editing, graphic design, CAD, a bunch of other things like Premiere Pro, probably get a Mac in that sense. Actually, don't get a Mac. Sorry, Apple, but they're way too expensive. Yeah, Photoshop, that's really useful for certain rendering aspects. Drawing, like you can have a drawing tablet as well. Anime, stuff like that. It just depends. But yeah, you have to make that decision. I can't make it for you. It literally just depends on what you do and how much money you want to spend. But anyway, if you did actually like this video, do leave a comment down below, as well as the stuff that I said earlier. Yeah, do give me a little subscribe as well, and turn on that little notification bell to see when I upload next, because it is time difference, but I do upload every day at the moment. So yeah, do look at some of the videos in the past. Anyway guys, goodbye everyone. Bye!